Welcome everyone to Marketing Part 2, Powering Up Your Marketing Strategies, part of the PhotoBiz MasterClass. My name is Jeremy Heiler. I'm the Creative Director for PhotoBiz. And if you missed Part 1, you can check our log on the website at masterclass.photobiz.com, or you can check out our Facebook page marked with Marketing Part 1. So let's talk about what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about CRM tools and tagging is the main feature, and that's how you can effectively market your business to your clients. So what are some ways to effectively market to your audience? You need to assess the needs of your customers. What types of customers are you trying to reach? If it's a senior, you're trying to capture a lasting moment that they'll have before they go off to college, become an adult. If it's a wedding, you're trying to capture the perfect day for these couples. You need to assess what types of customers you're searching for and what are their needs. You're trying to give them the best product possible. Who is your target audience? What are your demographics? We've talked a little bit about this in the last part, but where are your audience? Where are they located at? And I mean that in the social media aspect as well. If you're trying to hit 30 plus, you can start looking at Instagram more. But definitely they're on Facebook. The audience for Facebook is generally gotten skewed older, and the same thing with Instagram. Other platforms such as TikTok skew much younger. You're seeing more of a demographic between 13 to 26 there, whereas everything else is getting 26 and older on those platforms. So figure out where those audiences are. Try to appeal to them on Facebook. But also don't alienate the Instagram audiences because now families are gravitating over there as well. Just know where your target audiences is and then build campaigns around those ideas. When you're trying to do something on Instagram, you have short, sweet bursts that you can do. You have the ability to show off a beautiful photo session that you've done and the ability to just write a caption about Jane had a great session with me. Check out how you can have one with me as well. And then send them over to your website. Generally, that's what you're doing with most of these social media channels. You're just putting a blurb out there, a beautiful photo, and driving people back to your website. At the end of the day, that's what you want. You want them to be able to click over to your website because that's going to drive up your visibility through search engines. But it also gets people on your website. So where is your target audience online? That's what you need to figure out. And then create specific types of posts that will be interesting to them. I mean, if you're doing stuff on, LinkedIn for weddings, that might not be the best audience for you. But if you're doing headshots for corporate businesses, you're probably going to find your audience there. CEO might stumble across your catalog of images and be like, oh, wow, okay, I want to hire this person to shoot my entire staff. Play where they are. And then create ideas and plan a campaign. So this is where you get to have the fun part. Figure out what you want to do with your business for the year. What is your plan for the year? Do you just kind of fly off at the seat of your pants, just saying, okay, I'm going to do this session. I'm going to do this type of session. I'm going to do this. Or do you really try to plan out your year in advance? Like, okay, I'm going to have this type of session. It's going to be Valentine's coming up, so I'm going to have a Valentine's session. I'm going to then do an Easter session, and then I'm going to do maybe a St. Patty's session. I'm going to then do a Mother's Day session. I'm going to do, so forth. Or do you plan that focal around what types of sessions that you're going to be planning? And if you're a wedding, are you really just trying to make sure that you're getting your engagements and photo opportunities there, and then the actual wedding? Create those ideas that you really want to drive. Plan around the idea of like who you're really trying to target, and really go ahead and plan out these campaigns for the year. You can have multiple ones go out. You can have one each month if you want to, because you never know who's going to be getting married. You never know who's going to be wanting that senior session. You never know who's going to be wanting that family portrait. So think about the right time. Could be any time. So go ahead and pre-plan campaigns that you think would be effective for your types of audiences that you're trying to target. Use your blog as a lure. And what I mean by that is put blog content out there, first of all. I talked about this in previous classes, but blogging is one of the most vital tools that you have that I think most photographers are afraid to use. And the reason why I think you're afraid to use it is because you're afraid of not knowing how to write. And yeah, that's common. People are terrified to write. And then, you'll see people that just throw photos up into a what I call a film strip. It's just like hundreds of photos for one blog post. And that's it. That really doesn't help. It's great to see your work, but you know what I'd rather see is tell me a story, something engaging that drives my interest to understand the who, what, when, and where of that day. If you can paint the picture without seeing a picture, that's pretty powerful. And not only is it powerful just for a storytelling, it's great for that, search engine result. Again, with the Google algorithm, it's looking for creative writing. Not so much the pictures. The pictures are there, but I say that the Google AI is more like reading Braille. It wants to feel the words on the page. It can't really feel the picture, but it can feel the bumps of the letters. So that's why it wants to know creative writing. And if you can create something that's engaging with your customers and for the AI, you're already winning. And you can put, several photos there, but then lead them to something else. Have a call to action in that blog post to a session or a booking or a deeper dive on that gallery for that event. Think about that when you're blogging. Because your blog can use, creative titles, people that are located in Wilmington, North Carolina. If you talk about doing a Wilmington beach wedding session or, something of that nature, or a family portrait session there at the beach, you can use those keywords in there. And that's going to exist when people are looking for a wedding photographer in Wilmington or a portrait photographer in Wilmington. All those little things are like just little breadcrumbs. And the more people that see it on your social media and click on it, again, Google starts to think, okay, this is a powerful site. It's engaging with people for some reason. I want to show this more often. And that's what you want at the end of the day. Study how many people like or share or visit your website as well. You have Google Analytics. Put it on your page. Study it. What are people clicking on? What blog posts are most engaging for people? How long are they staying on your website? And which pages are they visiting the most? That's what you want to understand when you are looking at your planning and campaign building. Because you want to make sure you're sending out stuff that people actually are interested in versus just sharing. Build around your most effective content. If people are really engaging with one thing, guess what? Give them more. I think some people think, okay, this worked. Let me try something different. Let me try something different. If something's really working, go with it. I think sometimes with some photographers, they want to say they do a little bit of everything, but then they find that they have one niche that they really fit really well, but they feel afraid to leave out anything else. Maybe it's the fear of that. Maybe that one thing that you're doing really well will dry up or won't exist anymore. But if you get really good at that one specific type of photography, that's what people are really going to be drived most to see you. That's what they're coming for. They're like, hey, I heard you're really good at doing senior portraits. Oh, you're really good at doing pet photography. And you're like, well, yeah, I do that and I do portraits and stuff like that. No. Your pet photography is what's making your money, right? Yeah. Okay. Do more of that. Showcase more of that. Let people know that's, your best work, if that's your passion. Let people know, they want to see your best work. And if that's what you're really good at, share that effective content. And then be consistent. I think one thing is a lot of people, they share, but it's very inconsistent. You'll be like a post here, and then 7 months later, there'll be a post. Or there'll be an email marketing campaign that rolls out once every 6 to 7 months as well. And it just gets people to not think about you. You want people to kind of have a consciousness of you in the back of their minds at all times. Let them know that you're there, that you're constantly working, and that you're effective. That's one reason why I think a blog is so important, because if even people just drop in over to the blog to see all the blogs that you have, those timestamps show basically how busy you are. So think about that. If there's a time skip from 2018 to 2020, what happened in those 2 years, basically? We want to know, were you busy? Were you not working anymore? Did something happen? Did you put down the camera, but now you've picked it back up? Why'd you stop telling those stories? Let people understand what you're doing and what types of stories you're trying to tell. Be consistent. Always be in the back of people's minds. And remember, everyone has potential to be a customer, but not everyone is the right customer. When you're trying to send out campaigns, send it to the people that you know will purchase or be interested in this product. If you're sending, your wedding photographer and you send everyone this promotion, but they're already married, what's the point, right? Or you're sending out this campaign about, seniors, but the seniors are already grown up. This was 10 years ago. You're sending the clients that you had a decade ago. Think about your clients. Research them. Hey, sometimes you have to. You have to see what everyone's doing in your social media channels. And just remember that you have to really create little niches. And this is where tagging really, really comes in handy. Let's talk about blogging again. Blogging is your best net to capture leads. And why is that? Because you can share it anywhere. And you can constantly reshare it. That's the nice thing about it. You have a blog that you really liked a year ago. Guess what? Share it again. Just in case you missed it, check out this great session I did for blank. Try to do this 1 to 3 months. If you can do that, if you can blog, you can create a lot of buzz. And it's going to be great for your social media. And then it's going to be great for your search engine results. Again, I talk about how blogging and how the Google AI really appreciates creative writing. And the more you do it, the more people and the more content you have on your website without bogging down your menu. You just click on blog and boom, here's tons of articles that you've written. It's great. Always have something to share. Share blog posts to your social media channels and then drive people back to your website. It's just going to be reciprocal. It's just going to be a cycle that constantly happens. Send it out, drive people to your website. Send it out, drive people to your website. All you need is a paragraph or two with some pictures and then a call to action at the end of an article or before the pictures actually show up. And drive them where you want to go next. Don't have a dead end. Google will recognize when people are interacting and reading your blog, and that's what you want. Let's talk about tagging. Tagging clients is one of the most powerful things that you have built into the PhotoBiz platform, but you might not even know how to do it. So we're going to talk about doing it, and then I'll show you how to do it. So you want to create unique email lists. This is what you're going to do. So you can track your clients with the help of tags on forums, blogs, products, and services. It's an incredible feature that you have. All you have to do is set it up. And I'm going to show you how to do it, but that's the one thing that I think people forget, and then they just have an entire list of people without a tag. And those specific tags are great because say someone purchases a 10 by 10 portrait or something like that, or 8 by 10 portraits and stuff like that. You'll be able to see every single person if you've tagged that product properly, what they've purchased, what type of service they purchased, what types of blogs are they commenting on, and what types of forms have they filled out. This is incredibly helpful because then you can go into the email marketing campaign tool and say, I want to target people who filled out this form, or people who read this blog, or people who purchased this product or this service. You're already creating incredible lists based on that if you can tag properly. And that's what you want. You want to create lists based on these tags. Example, want to email a maternity parent about the opportunity of a newborn session? You can email those clients directly if tagged properly. So if you have a maternity form and they fill it out, you shot that session and they're already in your bucket, in a few months, they're going to have a baby. You can tag all your maternity clients and send them specifically a newborn session email campaign. Hey, ready to have shots of your baby? X price, whatever you're looking for. You can give them exclusivity. Since they've already done the maternity part, Maybe you want to give them some type of promotion to really bite for the newborn ones. And guess what? After the newborn, they're going to grow. Then they'll be turning into children's sessions. And then children's sessions morph into family sessions. And then eventually, one day, those family sessions, when the kid's old enough, they're going to be seniors. So it's just constantly building tags on tags on tags, and campaigns are built out of those. They just keep dripping down the line to something new. Maternity to newborn, newborn to children, children and family, and then seniors. And hey, if that person stays around, they might have a wedding one day that could turn into a wedding photography package or engagement package that eventually might turn into another maternity, and it becomes reciprocal. And you just keep tagging these customers properly and update your tags manually if you need to keep up with your clients. So let's get in there and set up some tags so you can really see how it's like. Okay, so just like how we logged back in to the back end of your control panel, you'll see all the options again on the left. We're going to go down to contacts, and you'll be able to see all the contacts that we've loaded in or had people contact us by purchasing something, going through submitting something through a form, or even a blog comment. So all that stuff is stored on the back end here. So you can see, we've only had these two test ones, the one that we just did a few moments earlier for this pop-up sign-up newsletter. Now you can see that this customer's been tagged. We have their email. They've been tagged with being a lead. And, all these other options. Have they emailed, opt in to emails or anything like that. And then you also see all this information stored in the back here. You can put friends and family information. If you know this customer, you'll be able to put their information as well. You can also see conversations that you've had with this customer if it goes back and forth, about a product or a proofing or anything like that. You can see if they've submitted back here. It was a newsletter sign up earlier. If there's been any files uploaded directly from them or to them. E-commerce purchases, you can see all this is stored here as well. Any comments in a proofing gallery, likes, shares, right here. And if they've made any scheduled appointments, you can see all the history here as well. So all this information is stored here. You can add more tags to specific people if you want to. You can also edit the details. If you know more information about this customer, like their first name, last name, their email, their phone number, if they're a lead or a customer already, phone numbers, company, birthday, Facebook information, billing information, any notes you want to leave here. You can store all this information about your customer here and keep adding more tags. And tagging is very important. So, maybe down the line we're going to add her to a different campaign list. So right now we just have her set up for signups for a newsletter. So let's add her to something else. We're just going to put seniors. Go down here and hit save changes. Now this contact has it. So when you go back here, you can see 1 of 1. Okay, there you go. And you can keep adding more tags if you need to for different lists. You can already have them ready, or you could build them through other areas like your forums and stuff like that. And it's very important to tag things. So let's go to our website builder so you can see what that's like. If I was going to add a form at the bottom here, I could easily do that by just dragging the block. And then, maybe we want this to be specific. Right now we have this one form, but let's add a new one. Let's create a new one real quick. We'll create a form, and we just want this to be a simple one. We want to get their information and any details that, maybe they want to leave us a message. We'll add a tag to this one. We'll call this one homepage contact. And I suggest making specific tags for each form for each page you have one on. And you can easily copy this form and just change the tag on each page that it's on. So when you come back here, this one's called simple. We'll go in here, we'll change it. We'll change it to homepage form. Homepage form. And have that tag still there. But then you can always go back, copy it. We can change this one to gallery form, create a copy, then add a tag, gallery form. And this is going to help because you're going to be able to know where this customer is, and you'll be able to say, hey, they've already looked at my work. I'm going to send specific email campaigns directly to these customer types. Maybe since we are a senior, we'll just say we're a senior or portrait photographer. We're going to add another one. We're going to put seniors as another tag in this form. So this is going to tag both those. And you can add as many tags as you want per thing. Just know that, the more tags you have for a thing, it's just going to give, different types of lists. So if you're really specifically trying to hit seniors, anyone who fills out this form is going to be tagged with seniors. And then anywhere else that you have seniors tagged, they're all going to filter into that one funnel. So think about that when you're putting this all together. So we have that. Let's go ahead. We're going to select here on our home page. I'm going to put our home page form there. And let's go back to our home page. You can see that we've added this form. And, you can add like a little title, like reach out to me. You can add some little texture here and there if you want to. Maybe you want to add a background texture. You can go to the background library. You can just add a little something in the back. Maybe we'll just use this gray cube, see what it looks like. And then you can just kind of keep modifying till you get something you like. There we go. Simple enough. Add a little texture to it. Added this nice little flare at the bottom. We'll remove the spacing below it so it sits flush. How about that? Boom. There we go. Now this tagged form, so when someone reaches out to us, I'm just going to put my information in there. Hi. Now that's been submitted. So we can go back in, see our contact section. We can see we have a couple new things popped up. Homepage contact. You can go to your contact section. You can see my information that was dialed in there is there now. And it's available for people to view. And you can do this pretty much for any contact. You can see conversations, submissions, like what was said, when it was said, and stuff like that. Everything can be modified however you need to. If you want to start a conversation, you can. And this will basically email them. And what this conversation is going to do is going to store everything in the back end. So it's a really great way to kind of harbor all your stores, almost like an instant messenger built in the back end of here. So everything can be stored here versus searching through tons of emails with conversations you've had with this customer. And they'll be able to reply through the email, and it'll be all submitted back here. It's a really nice resourceful tool to have. So that's how the CRM works. You can keep adding and create more tags. Tags are very important. So like, if there was a blog, once you have a blog up there, once you have your blog up here, you can see that this test blog right here, it's fine, but let's go ahead and tag it. We'll tag it with simple blog, and we'll make this one about seniors as well, and portraits. So now that's all been added. So now we know portraits, seniors, and simple. So when someone fills out any information on this side, if they were to leave some information, I'm going to just put Jane Doe the second, Jane Doe testing at Gmail. How about that? Oh. And then, wow, I love this. Once it's submitted, you'll see that, if it has approval or anything like that on, you'll come here. You'll be able to see the back end. You can make the post visible. But let's go to our contacts. So Jane Doe testing already existed. But now we have extra tags layered in there. Senior, simple, portraits. We had her opt out of emails, but maybe she's opted back in now. You can see all these types of functionalities that you can add. But now, we have all these tags just set up for her. And we can set these things up, if we want to send anything specific to a type of customer. So let's go back into our marketing. Let's click on, a new email. Let it set up something. Let's just send up a huge sale that we're having. Jane Doe Studio. Put a link in. We're just going to send it to our masterclass. That way we have something here. Awesome. We're just going to click over. There we go. Goes where we need it to go. And then you can see this is your email. It's pretty much ready to be sent to whoever we want to. So if you're ready to send it to someone, you can go over here. And then we walked through this earlier in part 1, but you can select by tags. So you can either do by customers, by leads. You can see we have more leads than customers. So you can choose it that way. Or you can do specifically by a tag. So maybe we want to only connect to the people who were on homepage contacts, or people who were galleries, pop-ups, or our seniors. You can see multiple people have connected through these ways. So whenever you have your tags set up the way you want to, you can do exclusions if there's anybody you don't want to be a part of this. Maybe you want to exclude, something from this, like these tags. And then when you're ready, you hit continue. And then you can change, your name if you wanted to make sure it's from Jane Doe Studio. You can do that. What your from email address is, and then whatever your clever headline is going to be. You can submit it right through here. And then you just need to confirm, if they've already said, cool, signed up for something, they are ready to go. Before you can send anything, you need to verify with us. That way we make sure that you're a real account. We do this for every brand new PhotoBiz account because we don't want anyone to do anything malicious. So just know that this is a safe bearing. You just need to give us a call before you send any campaign out. And that's how you get those sent. Once you're ready to send a campaign and maybe you want to add more people to the list, you can do that as well. The nice thing about it is if you want to upload more people to your contact list, you can choose to do that. You can import them from any mailing list that you might have. Just have a CSV file, and then you can import. And you can submit contact one by one, or you can export your entire list. So it's really up to you. So if I'm going to import any, I'm just going to export my list that I currently have on this account. Of course, if you have anything bigger than 4 megabytes or over 5,000, just remember you have to upload these in chunks of 5,000 contacts per. Since we only have 3, you're just going to see a very small list be able to be pulled over. So don't worry too much about that. But just know when you upload them, you can tag them on the way in. So let's go ahead and send over these, resubmit these files. So when we do that, you'll see that you have the option to continue. Click continue. And then you'll see what you can import. You'll be able to import their email, their first name, phone number, work number, company number, birthday, Facebook, billing, address, pretty much everything that we store on the CRM. So you can see it's all here, and you can see other things like, do you want to import these tags or anything like that, and how to import them as. We will just say this won't be on the way in, because if the customer already exists with the email, these tags will just be added to them. So you can change them right here if they're customer leads at this point. Maybe they're all leads. And then you can add a new tag. This is where you can add tags such as, for testing. Once you add that, add tag, these people, all these contacts that I import, only these 3 are going to have this new tag attached to them. And any other tags that they have pre-existing will be there as well. And then this is great for like if you're creating any type of drip campaign or anything like that. So if they've emailed, you saw 30 people open an email, and these 3 are the ones that actually clicked, you can export that information and then re-upload it back in and send directly campaigns just to these 3. So just think about that when you're building these types of campaigns out. It's really, really effective ways to make your marketing more targeted. So, ready to import these. Once you import them, they're imported. You'll see who gets brought in, all the testing and all that stuff. So, back to your, when you go to your tags, you'll be able to see who's there and how they've been tagged. And then you can filter how you want to by your tags over here, and you'll be able to see who's been imported, if they were customers, if they're leads, and how they were tagged properly. So these are the people that we've just imported. You can do it. You can add more information if you need to. If you want to add more tags to them, you can, or you can email these people specifically. If you're going to send a campaign out, now you don't have to send it to everyone. You can send it specifically to the core people that you're trying to connect to. When you're ready to send emails, this is what you need to do. Once your tags are properly added, you can send email campaigns based off those tags. You can upload and export lists based on tags. So if you have an existing email list, you can upload them directly into the CRM, and you can tag them on the way in. You can also download those CRM lists as well. And you can download specific tagged versions or people who have opened things. And this is really great for creating drip campaigns. So you say you send a campaign out to 100 people, 50 open it. You can download that list and re-upload that list. And what it's going to do is when you add a new tag saying open, say today's date for this email campaign, when you re-upload it, it re-tags that customer. And then you can then go in and send them a follow-up email directly just to those 50. And you just keep drilling down till you get to the best customer. Because next, that 50 that you send it to, maybe 25 open it. And that's really, you keep going down till you get to your base who might really, really purchase it. Because, hey, maybe out of that 25, the next time you send an email, maybe 10 actually do purchase. And that way you're not sending the same email to the same 100 every single time, and you can change the messaging. You can add exclusivity to it. You can add a promotion to it as it gets drilled down deeper as far as you want to go. Because eventually, maybe those 25 that opened the last campaign, they might really take advantage of it. And that's what you want at the end of the day. It would be great if those hundreds did it, but wouldn't it be really nice if only 25 also? Next, you want to look over all the data that you have. After you send an email, review your reports. You can track it all in the back end of the PhotoBiz platform in the email section. You can see what people are doing, how they're opening, are they bouncing, are they clicking on anything, are they unsubscribing. If you see a high unsubscribe rate, look over it. What didn't work? If you see emails bouncing, well, bouncing means something is wrong with that email. And that could be multiple things. When the email was sent, maybe they put the wrong email in. Maybe it is improperly put in. It could be an email that just doesn't open. It could be a fishy email. There's so much logic that goes behind a bounced email sometimes that we don't really know. No one really knows except for maybe Google. But those little things, they're reviewing. They're constantly rating our emails and how we open things through the algorithm of the internet. So when an email bounces, sometimes it's intentional or it's just because of error. Assess what worked and what didn't work. If you send out a campaign to 100 people and you don't hear back from anyone, okay, we should change some things. Something didn't work, obviously. But look over what might have worked. There's lots of things in there that's like, okay, I had 100 people and 98 of them clicked. You got to look at that data. And then you got to figure out from those clicks, did they do something? You might have 98 clicks, but did only 2 purchase Or did only 2 people sign up? Find out what's the right effective thing. Maybe the headline was really incredible. Maybe the deal was incredible, but people didn't want to take advantage of it because the price wasn't what they thought it was going to be. So you got to really determine what's most effective and find out what the best strategy is going forward. Maybe don't put price in your email, or maybe put pricing in the email. You might see what a big difference. And then determine how effective that email is based on what you wanted them to do. If you see good results, keep trying. If you see bad results, change something. That's really what it comes down to. Nothing's set in stone. It's all digital. And I know it can be scary to see unsubscribe rates, but your list can always regrow. And don't worry about that, because eventually you'll get the right clients. And you'll be sending the right stuff to the right ones. And then repeat. You've done it once, do it again. Keep trying. That's the thing about this. It's very scientific. It's just looking over data, seeing out campaigns, and seeing what's most effective for customers to be engaging with your content. You want them to be able to purchase from you. You got to make effective plans on that. If you're seeing pricing in your emails work effectively, go with it. If you don't, pull it away. Make sure you have options for people if they want them. Give them something beautiful that they'll remember the email from, and just keep repeating it over and over, and just check the data constantly. How is it performing? And if you see something change, make a change again. And that's it. I want to thank you for joining me for the marketing part 2 section of this. We talked about the CRM. We talked about creating effective marketing for audiences, and how blogging and all these other tools are very, very helpful to keep people engaged with you through social media channels and directly through email marketing. I know it's a very challenging thing for people to think about when it comes to marketing in general. At the end of the day, you should start planning what your next steps are. What do you want your email campaigns to be for the year or next year? What do you want your promotions to be for this year? Build those pages out. Build those forums out. Build those email campaigns out. Build those blogs out. And share them as often as you can. That way you're always in the conscious of your audience. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I'll get back to them when we can. And I want to thank you for joining me today. Next, we'll be jumping right into website reviews. And then after that, support live. So hope you join me for the rest of the day. And I'll see you tomorrow as well. This has been fun. I really hope this has been helpful for you guys. And if you have any questions, again, please leave them in the comment section. Thank you.